Hello, hello. Welcome, guys. Come on in. How's everyone doing? Oh, busy day. Busy day, busy week. How has everyone been doing today? I haven't got any words yet today, but that is okay. I tried, tried too many things. I wanted to get on Angela's, and then I realized that Bethany was doing her outlining videos, so live, and so I'm like, okay, I'm going to order Bethany. I'm going to get to one of these live instead of always watching the replay, which is kind of cool. Jess won't be playing right now since Tamara is doing a sprint that wasn't on schedule. I need the playing time more than planning right now. We can always plan on the replay tomorrow before sprints or after Jen's. Yeah. I mean Sarah, not Jen. Oh yeah, that's right. Sarah's closing out the night for us. That's true. So true. Quantum University. So ready for this? I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Let's see. Crystal, happy Saturday again, writers. I'm cooking lunch, but we'll be floating in the background. Nice. Hey, Rachel. Hi, everyone. It's your girl, Rachel. Rita, hello. How's it going, hon? Jess, I'll leave you open and mute it for the watch hour or so. Rita, Jess, I'm doing the opposite. Yes. Okay, guys, on that note, we have Nano coming. And I have had an epiphany. My schedule has gone insane. And also, I think I've developed a system that is, I'm going to actually pull it back today a bit because I don't feel like we quite have a weekly planning system anymore. We have more. So starting, I want to do an experiment because I know I'm not going to have the time throughout November to make this add up in terms of time if I actually want to participate in Nano. So what I want to do is I'm going to make some tweaks and I'm going to make it into a monthly planning system, which it's very much skirting toward anyway. It's become a much larger planning, deeper session. So I'm going to make it monthly. So next weekend we'll do a monthly planning session for November. And that way it will free up some of our time for writing throughout Nano and will take a little bit off my schedule that has become, like I said, insane. So this is what we'll find out. We'll see. So we'll treat it as an experiment for November. We'll see how it goes. If it isn't quite a monthly system, then we'll go back and like the original system we kind of had was definitely more weekly. This has become something beefier. So we're gonna give this a try and see. But today we're gonna do weekly and continue as we normally would. And I'll probably pull a couple panels out that I feel like are more toward the monthly side of things, and we'll keep those for next week. Okay, guys. Hey, Sherry, how's it going? Okay, guys, let's dive on in. Let's plan the right way. We use the power of story to plan our lives, using ourselves as the protagonist and exploring the journey that we're on. Okay, guys, let's see here. I've got my things over my screen. I will keep our commitment statement because I feel like this is very relevant, and we will have probably two versions of this. We will have a weekly version that we will use as our mantra. And going forward, we'll also have a monthly one for defining our monthly focus and determining where we want to go with things. So this week, I will make myself a priority and follow through and give myself the time I need to make progress on the projects that matter to me. Print it out, write it down, get out the fancy pens, brush pens, write it out, put it up on your bulletin board, remind yourself that you are enough, you matter, and what matters to you, you should be able to have time for. Okay, guys? So stage one, we're going to talk strategies. We're going to talk in terms of scenes. The definition, a section where there is action, a beginning, middle, and end, and it moves the story forward. We often in life end up in loops where we are not truly moving forward on the things that we want to see progress on. And that's where this stops, because we want to make sure that we're harnessing strategies that are going to ensure that we are moving our story forward scene by scene, right? That's us trying things. That's us showing up for ourselves. That's us putting in the time. And literally just taking a hard look at our lives and having to say no to some things, having to delegate some things, and having to just create a world that, the world that we want to live in, right? All right, so we're going to clarify what we want to achieve, why we want to achieve it, and how we're going to go about that. And we're not always going to get this right. We're going to try some stuff, right? This is entering the trials. And sometimes we will find out that something sort of works for us. We're going to find out there's some things that definitely don't work for us. Maybe they work, you saw them on a YouTube video or something, and it worked for that person. It does not necessarily have to work for you. We're all different, and what works for one will not work for another, right? We're going to use SMART goals. We're going to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. I just watched a video by Rachel and Theory last week, and she moved this around a bit, and so if you get a chance to see that one, she does not use them in this order. She used them in, what did she do? She moved the measurable. What'd she have? SMART? I'll have to look it up again. But she shifted everything around to so that you got your why first. The relevant piece. Why is it relevant to your life first and foremost? So I may actually borrow from that and move these around because I think that she's onto something, definitely. Let's see. Be intentional. We're going to be intentional with our time. We're going to be honest about what you want to achieve. We're going to realize that we can't achieve it all. We can have our big dreams over here, but we know we're not going to be there tomorrow. We got to work towards that. So we're going to have to take our steps to get up here, right? And we're going to actually take a look and figure out whether something is actually serving us right now, or if we should be putting that one aside for a little bit. Is it really serving our purposes, or are we just threatening burnout on ourselves? Another reason why I kind of want to try doing a monthly for planning, because I feel the edge of burnout, and it's not so much my YouTube schedule, because that hasn't really changed. It's everything else has increased exponentially, and I'm feeling like I'm very thin right now, so I'm having to find something. Plus, like I said, the system has been shifting to something larger. Anyway, so, and I think some part of me did that intentionally. I did want a good monthly system. So I think my subconscious has been working as I'm creating it. I'm calling it weekly, but my brain has other ideas. Okay, guys, target dates. We're going to figure out the time required, the completion date that would work for us, giving a little bit of wiggle room. We don't want to burn ourselves out. We're going to schedule it. We're going to get it on that calendar. We're going to do our day. We're going to figure out our daily, weekly goals. That way we have nice chunks to work toward. And it's, especially the weekly, it's less overwhelming. If one day of the week doesn't go well, we have tomorrow, right? And we don't feel like we're failing, because we know that we have that. We know it's 10K in the week. It's not, I didn't get my 2K today, right? Then we can spread it back out a little bit. We're going to have weekly check-ins. We're going to have adjustment periods where we're going to take a look at things and tweak as we need. And we're going to refocus as needed. Okay. Let's see here. And then finally, these ones are all the normal things that we normally have. These are our action steps. So the next task steps, hello Amanda, our measured increments, our good, better, best goals, our micro steps, so little baby steps that we climb to get to that top, to that dream state we want to be in, the things we have to delegate, the things we have to delete, and we want to also be looking for any problems or delays that might be impacting us. And you know what? If we can see them coming, we can maybe avoid them. We can adjust for them, but we don't have to have them completely derail us, which is what we're trying to achieve here. Okay, guys, our backstory, fancy word for our review. So your backstory is a set of events that have occurred before the main story. So we are starting today with a fresh little plan for the week, but we will look at what happened last week because there may be some things we're going to have to carry over, where there's going to be things that we've learned, and there's things we want to be proud of, right? So the first off in reflection is we want to celebrate our successes, our gold star moments. That's what we call them here. These are gold star moments. We want them to be noted. We want to put check marks on them, exclamation points, literally gold stars, so that we know that we did good and we figured something out and we got it right because it feels good, right? And we want to analyze our challenges, our biggest distractions, and our best fixes. Because yes, we're going to all have distractions in our lives, but we want to get ahead of those. And when we find a fix for something, we want to know about that. We want to be able to have that written down somewhere that the next time it happens, we can go, oh yeah, I did this and I got back on track and got my work done. That's what we want, right? Let's see. Where are we here? Amanda, I read everything, but I'm currently writing. Oh, okay. What are we? Okay, I'll let you guys chat there. And to be continued, what needs to be continued or carried forward? How much did you accomplish? What else needs to be done? And is this project bigger or more complex than you thought? And so often it is. We don't necessarily get it right the first time when we break down a task, and often we will give ourselves way more than to do in a week than it's really humanly possible. We have other things outside of our writing time, outside of our art, outside of our business, that we have to take care of. And that's where I'm struggling this week because we've added a lot. Okay, guys, let's get our planner up, pull out last week's pages, and let's see how you guys did. Let's see. Oops, I just use those pages there. All right, guys, and let's find out how you did last week. Okay, so how did you guys do? Uh, where did I miss? Rachel, I started a new job in September, and it's a promotion, so there's more work. I've just started getting back in the swing of things. I hope to get some writing done today. Nice. Amanda, nice to meet everyone too. Definitely. Let's see, John, that's amazing. Congrats to Rachel. It's a little stressful, but I enjoy it. Well, that's good. They kind of demonize stress a bit. There is good stress, like the stress when we're doing something new and we're not 100% comfortable with it, but it brings us alive. We have a certain excitement level that kind of comes with it. That's okay stress. The negative bad stress, we try to avoid that stuff. Last week was pretty cool, I guess. I set my goals and accomplished them. Finally got around to cleaning my room and bathroom. Nice. Mary, I had my A1C on Wednesday and the doctor said it looked good overall. She told me to continue cutting carbs and taking my meds. Yesterday, I finally made it to the annual employee appreciation luncheon. Well, that sounds lovely. Rita, my YouTube launch task. I'm so happy for you, hon. Worked more in Canva, one more chapter for summaries, and then start outline for Maple River. Need to get back to Preptober Planner. Miranda's Cauldron, guys, go and sign up. The launch is going to be Halloween. Let's see, Rachel, I still need to finish up some projects for work, but they aren't due for another week or so. I also need to focus on writing, which I haven't had time for since my new job, but things are dying down now. That's good. Yeah, there's probably a lot of extra because it was a new position as well, so you were getting comfortable in it. Let's see, Rachel, so I should be able to schedule in my writing too. Time. Nice. Love that. Okay, guys. Reluctance. This is a big one. What are you avoiding? Why? Often it is a fear-based thing, and the fear is usually worse than the actual doing. So we're looking at how you can take that first step. If it's a little thing like a phone call, I recommend just scheduling it for Monday morning, getting it off your task. It's gone. And then the next steps will occur as they occur. But you've taken that first step to get the simple part of the phone call, no matter how uncomfortable it is, off your list. Because you're carrying that. You're taking that into your day to day that you know you should be doing it. And that's taking energy from you that you could use for creative tasks. And you don't want to do that. So depending on how large of a task, I want you to take one baby step toward it. If it's a phone call, take a Post-it and write down the phone number and stick it on your phone. Monday, 10 a.m., you're making that phone call, right? Stick that on the back of your phone case. That way, every time you touch your phone, you're going to touch that Post-it, right? Or put it on the fridge, wherever it is that, or at your desk, whatever. If it's business related, maybe at your desk. If it's personal related, put it on your phone. And that way you're going to guarantee that you can get it done. And just make sure you schedule that in and take a bite out of it and get it done. If it's a larger task, do one small little baby step toward it and just start. What can you do to start? Okay, guys, let's get our 2-minute timer up and figure out what it is you've been avoiding and how you're going to make it happen. I have been getting into the all or none loop, which is not great, especially given how busy I am. So there are two things that I want to be doing more. I want to be driving, practicing more, and I miss being on live streams, which right now my schedule is not playing nice with lining up with just about any of them, but I'm thinking in terms of wanting to be on for the whole time, and that is clearly not going to happen anytime soon. So my new goal is going to be to try to get onto just one sprint per day of someone else's lives because I enjoy your guys' company and I miss you. And I would like to be hanging out with you. So I'm going to try to make that change and see if I make it more of a habit-based thing and a smaller piece if I'll feel better. Let's see. Let's see. Crystal, I have barely any clutter because it drives me crazy, so I did a deep clean this week to prepare for the virtual retreat and cleaned out 2 closets today. All done. Nice. I'm not looking forward to redoing our driver's license and my son's passport left out. I still have 7 months for the license and a year and 2 months for the passport, but it feels like I need to do it. And I think the driver's license, at least here, I think it's 6 months before they'll let you do it. So you probably have a little bit on that one, but the passport takes a bit of time to get back. So depending on whether or not you plan to use it, you might want to get that one renewed sooner, better sooner than later. Mary, avoiding Reading again, but at least instead of YouTube, I've been watching Bleach on Hulu. Oh, interesting. My son is so proud of himself for getting me hooked on it. The story is so addictive. My daughter does the same thing. She loves when she gets us hooked on something. Rita, avoiding StreamYard for my live streams due to fear and lack of digital skills. Don't worry about StreamYard yet. You can start simply by just doing a simple YouTube live. That said, if you want any extra, how do I put this? I don't use StreamYard or anything like it. But I do use OBS that gives me controls over certain aspects of my live. The last time I went on without any additional tech was probably from my laptop. I don't know if you guys, anyone here that might have been for those ones? We were low tech back then. We literally had a physical little timer off to the side, like there was nothing on screen. But it can be done. There's nothing wrong with that. It worked, right? Let's see. KDP, I'm moving that to December. My closet, I unpacked the 2 boxes and found my Halloween decor. Nice. That's on my list to do. Amanda, I'm avoiding a whole section of world building because it requires a lot of decision making. I think it's fear of making the wrong decisions. It's my constant struggle with perfectionism. Perfectionism holds us back more than anything else. Try to maybe, instead of doing all the world building, pick one aspect. Take one town, the one that you can kind of see the clearest of where things happen, and choose, like, give yourself a laundry list of 2 shops, 1 school, if you have a religion in there, also what the religion looks like, not the religion fully, but maybe find an image of the church that you like or something, or the temple or whatever it is that you kind of want to have, depending how grand or how small, right? And just that town, that's all you got to work on. And just 5 or 6 little things, little details of it, and you put that away, and then tomorrow you can do another one or something, right? And that way it's teeny little pieces. And there's no such thing as perfect with world building because you're going to change your mind as you write the story because the story is going to inform you. Carrie, avoiding, I picked up a new freelance project of the type I've never done before. Oh, interesting. All I need to do is get started is to download some templates, but for some reason that's hard because it's new. Rita, OBS, I will try that too. It is free. It is fairly friendly, and it does allow you to have some good controls. Ashley, hello, how's it going on? Okay, guys, we're going to move on into our next field, which is story beats. This is the framework over which you drape your plot. Story beats refer to your story structure, timing, and pacing. Plot points are events in your story that align with the story beats. So you have the bigger picture. That would be your weekly, and then all the pieces that are going to go on to the weekly. Those are all the things that we're doing, right? Let's see, Rita. When I begin world building, I start with all the floor plans of the homes and any shops needed, and the map of the town, or in one novel, the camp. There you go. Interesting. Okay, guys. So we want to do our care days. We want to leave room for our wellness sick days. It's good to schedule in probably a couple a month. That way, if you do end up getting sick or your little one gets sick, you can kind of have days that you can borrow from that are somewhere within your monthly plan and that you can pull over and put in where needed. Obviously, you're not going to know when you're going to be sick, but you want to have room in your plan to adjust if something comes up. You want to make, if you can, have a mental health day, maybe once every 2 weeks. That way, again, if you need it, you could pull it in and have it there, and it's within your schedule already, and it's not taking away from something else. Buffer reset days. I try to put one of these in, if I can, every 2 weeks, just so I can use it for catch up for anything that I may have gotten behind on. But for sure once a month. If you have low energy days, like as many of you guys know, I have allergies, and it's not so bad right now because it's started to rain again. Everything's a little more moist. It's not, all the allergens aren't fluffing up in the air quite as much. But during the spring and summer, I don't do so well when we have our landscaping crew come into our complex. I feel dreadful. So I don't do lives. I don't do high energy tasks those days. I have some allergy pills, and I do low energy tasks. And that actually got me throughout the entire spring and summer this year, and that actually really helped me a lot. This one came from Crystal. Celebration days. Give yourselves the time to really enjoy a celebration. Don't try to show up just for the dinner part or or sneak in for 5 minutes. No. Enjoy. We have so little, I shouldn't say we so little. When we have something to celebrate, we should celebrate it fully, and we should enjoy the joy of being with our family and friends. So if you have a celebration day coming up, we have several, don't we? We have Thanksgiving. There's Thanksgiving in the US. There's Christmas coming. There's New Year's Eve. We probably don't want to have a full schedule going on and where we end up missing everything. We want to make sure those days are protected so we can be present and enjoy them. So we're going to schedule in our mental health and sick days. And if you don't need them, they simply become bonus days. So that's one of the other things we're going to put into our schedule. Actually, I think we will just jump right into that one. And what I tend to do is I just do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday down the page, and I kind of do a quick think about what may be coming at me and then kind of assign them. So we'll just do a quick 2-minute on that one. And this is a guessing game, and you may end up having to change things around, and that is perfectly normal. Okay, guys, let's see if we just mentally just take an idea. I know we haven't done the actual full breakdown, but you know when you're working, you know when you have to pick up your kids from school, you know when you have a date night with the hubby or whatever. So we know kind of a base idea of what's coming at us. So let's figure this out. Oh no. Kind of a bit burnt out. Hmm. Okay. So I just did a quick breakdown. I put down my eldest daughter's, her Special Olympics things. My youngest, I put down hers. Two of which do not actually affect us, two that do. And then sort of took a quick look at, we have an extra doctor's appointment we got to go to next week. So I just kind of did a quick broad strokes just to see what shape the days should take. And I'm finding myself getting more precious about the few days a week that tend to be a little bit lighter, but I'm having a hard time managing them because surprise things keep coming into them. So I may end up, instead of calling them full days, because they're not full days anymore, they're actually turning more into half days. And that's just a reality of right now for this season. I'm just going to have to accept that. Let's see. For anyone that is new, that will be explained in a minute. Hi, James. Welcome. Mildred, I bought a camera holder desk mount. Have been doing a lot more cleaning than writing, looking for it. I may have dropped it into the trash. Oh, no. I heard something fall, but didn't look. Oh, no. Oh, hun. I hope you find it. I hope that's not what happened to it. Rita, Tuesday evening, the library is hosting a local published author. Self-care and celebration. Oh, I love that. Who's the author? Do we have a name? That's kind of cool. I remember years ago, I took my youngest, I pulled her out of school for the day, or for a few hours anyway, so she could go and see Kenneth Opel at our library. And that was an amazing day. That was awesome. I loved that. Let's see, Amanda, I have 8 care days in total for November. Some holiday related, a couple buffer reset days, the rest wellness days. I love that. See, this is another one where I feel like this is a monthly. Like, there's a few things we have in here that have definitely been edging more in that direction. So we're not gonna argue with it. We're gonna see what this is, because face it, November is gonna be mad busy. Okay, guys, this is our major conflicts. This is again the looking ahead thing. This is going to be breaks in our routine, which are either going to be from vacations, which are good breaks, holidays, which are good ones, surgeries, not so much but necessary, conferences, which are also good ones, renovations, which no matter how frustrating they are, your home will be the better for it. So we will have to deal with it. And we're looking at sort of the purpose of this break. Is it going to be for relaxing, resetting? Is it going to be for recovering? Are you going to be wanting to be participating fully? What level of is this something you're going to enjoy, or something that is maybe a little bit of dreading, that you want to basically maybe start preparing yourself in some ways for, making things as good as they can be? Or is it simply it's a vacation and you just simply want to be going vacation and fully enjoying it? You don't want restrictions on your time. You don't want to be having to clock in with your boss. You don't want to be maybe you want to be ready, but it's kind of secondary. It's not quite as where you want to be. And again, this comes down to celebration. There's also extra things that come up that we do for Thanksgiving, that we do for Christmas, that definitely go beyond just the day of. That is prep that we want to do. There's baking often, there's shopping, there's additional food prep, and all these things that we want to kind of make room for us. So we're going to take a quick look here and give you 2 minutes. So if you have anything coming up on your calendar that is going to make either writing difficult, or whatever creative work you're doing, a little more difficult, or if you just simply want to have the freedom of time, you can get that written down, and then you can see how that's going to impact your schedule. Courtney project, she had a book going out, but she took a vacation and didn't really think about that book when it was going to be released, and she had to work so much harder and at such an insane pace to try to make sure that that book launched on time. And she did herself harm. She really did. We don't want to do that. We want to actually see what's coming at us and make sure that we can adjust our plans to make sure that we don't have to be in a state of panic like that. Okay, guys, so let's figure out any major breaks that are coming in your routine and whether you want to get stuff done beforehand so that you can be free for that actual time for that break, or if you want to postpone something and do it after. Okay, guys, proceed. When can I do that? Wednesday, maybe? Okay, what did you guys come up with? I came up with one that was definitely coming at me quickly. Halloween. I love to decorate for Halloween. I have not done that yet. Like I said, been very, very busy, and I'd like to do a good couple hours worth of decorating just for the fun of it. I enjoy it. But this year has been a little more difficult to do. Plus, we have a door to finish installing to get it out of our hallway area that will be seen when the front door gets open. So we have a couple things that we are trying to get done and put away in time for Halloween. I don't know if I will go as mad crazy on my decorating, but I want to do some because it brings me such joy. I do enjoy it. Let's see. Rita, this is her first book of poems and self-exploration type book. Oh, love that. Halloween fun with the littles at the library Thursday morning. Erin day to town. 2 hours driving time alone, but lunch out and all that reading time in the truck. Nice. Love that. Okay, guys. Now, the storyboard. This is where I'm saying that this is where the breakdown of the type of days we have. Full day means that you have a very regular schedule. You have the majority of the day to yourself to decide what you want to do. Half days, most people will think we'll be working in half days. You have a day job, but you do have a chunk of time, give or take around 4 hours, that we'll say 4 to 8 hours, that you have some control over with what you would like to do. You can postpone dinner a little bit. You can write for an hour after work, take a break, write another 2 or 3 hours before bed, whatever you kind of like. That's kind of our half day. Pinch days, if this is a term that I've coined for those super crazy busy days where you're already mad busy and the universe has decided to toss even more at you. This will be my Tuesday. We've had a doctor's appointment added to the AM portion that we said yes to because it's important, but it is definitely it's going to be making for a very stressful day. I'm just not going to think about it too much. I'm just going to do it and get it done. That's how I'm going to treat that day because it's going to be mad busy. Life task days are those errands and chore days. I find that if we kind of give them sort of a day or two of their own, more gets done. You're not interrupting your creative flow with little tasks that you could do that are weighing on your mind because you haven't gotten to them. You give them a time and a place, and that way your creative time and your creative headspace is protected. And that's what we're always trying to do, is protect our time for the things that matter. So this is you're running your errands. So if you are running errands, I highly recommend going to the furthest place out and then working your way back. That way you're not doing the back and forth. I did that the other day and it was so frustrating because where I went for something, they didn't have it. And I found myself having to go back to a store that I'd already been to, that I didn't even think about that they would have it. And it was very frustrating and felt like a huge waste of time. We needed it, so I did it, but I would have preferred I would have liked to have handled it very differently. And then simply giving yourself some days off, right? A true day off for fun, for relaxation, no pressure on yourself. Watch some movies, do some self-care, do an activity that you absolutely love. So we want to basically, so again, we're going to write just MTWTFSS down the side of the page and figure out again, just from our general feel of how we know this week is going to go, what kind of days these are going to be, whether they're going to be full, half, pinch, life, or a true day off. And go. Cool. Actually, I'm going to shift that. And don't be afraid to put little notes to yourself as well. Like I'm doing a breakdown of just, like I said, Tuesday's a pinch day, and I gave myself basically a time to be out of the house so that we're on time. Because I need that to be front and center, and I need that noted down somewhere where I'm going to refer to that. Okay, guys. Now this is a new one, and this is important, I think, because it speaks to our comfort and our familiarity with the project. But are you in Act 1, 2, or 3? Which act of the journey are you in with this goal? If it is new, you have an excitement level for it, but you also probably have more to learn. If you're in the middle, your enthusiasm is probably not what you'd like it to be, but you are more familiar with what you're working toward. And if you're at the end, you kind of get a combination of both. You get the excitement because you're nearing the end, and you can see it, right? And that builds your momentum up. So when you're actually looking at your goals, give yourself the grace you need to depending on which stage you're at, because if it's Act 1, you may, yeah, great, you have all the enthusiasm, but you're also putting a little bit more on your plate as you're learning, and you want to be able to give yourself that, right? That time. Let's see, Rita, mostly full days for me, but also 2 half days too. I have no idea when we're going to town, yeah. And that kind of stuff is what's been kind of getting to me is, okay, where is this? And it's the surprise things too. It's like, what do you mean I'm going out again? I have 600 things I want to do at home right now. Okay, guys, so take a little spot, and maybe we will put this under, I'm going to have to move this panel, I think. Keep the ideas there. When we get onto the projects, we're going to figure out just a little side note to ourselves, whether Act 1 or 2. Okay? Let's see here. So plotting, this is our stage 4. This is a series of related events making up a story. This is the nitty-gritty. These are the elements that we're dealing with. So we're going to you have your 5 basic elements of story, which are setting, characters, plot, conflict, and resolution. This is true of anything that you're going to be doing. You have to do you have to do things at a certain place, and a certain time. Often you're going to have other people to deal with, and whether that they help you or hinder you, well, that's always the fun, right? The plot is the what. It's really the part that we can control. Any conflicts that are arising, how you can deal with those, and the resolution is simply that outcome you're looking for. That's that bigger picture goal and how it's serving you and as you move forward. Okay, guys. So quarterly focus. Is there anything you have from Q4 that you're adding in next week? Any new opportunities that have come into your life that you would like to take advantage of? How does that affect your schedule? Any prep or research that you're doing for any larger goals that you want to start maybe in Q1, but you want to start learning and giving yourself the skills you need and a better understanding? Is there anything that you want to reduce, remove, or delay simply because truly it's not going to quite work out at this season of your life? Okay, guys, 2 minutes and go. Think of part 2. And then we have That's actually a new one. So. Hmm. Okay, so what did you guys come up with? I need to. I got bad timing on this course, guys, but I do want to move a little bit forward on it. So, I will give I'll say an hour to it at least next week, and I should be able to slide that in. Even if I do it while we're sitting in a coffee shop or something, while we're doing the other things, or sitting in the car. Thank you. I still want to make progress on that. Writing, Project Hidden is going really well. My goal is to have the story wrapped up so they can sit and rest, and I wanted to use November to hit the ground running on a new project, but I have not done any prep on it, so I don't know if that's going to happen. Either I'm going to end up going to have to do a zero draft, or maybe it's just not the right season for it. Let's see. Mildred, gotta take a lunch break. Hope I'll find it later. Hoping you'll find it later. You will. Thank you for hanging out with us on. All right, guys. Our next one. This is the one we have the most control over. Projects active, on hold, and new. You're looking at your what, why, and how, and which act you're in of the project, and is it all new and shiny, or is it middle? Saggy middle where you are like, why am I doing this? Keep looking for the bigger goal. That's why you're doing it. All right. Are you at the end where you're racing to type that last word, finish the painting, launch something for your business? It's just so close. Nothing new for me, but I will delay the formatting to December or even January. Yes. Okay, guys. Let's get our 2-minute timer going and figure out what projects we're going to work on here this week, and our why and our how. Go. So I basically, what are the dates we're working with for next week? We are the 23rd? Yes, 23rd to the 29th. I do believe that's correct. Let's see. Let's find out here. Yeah, 23rd to 29th. So we won't be having Halloween in there, but we might have some Halloween prep. In terms of that gives us another, oops. So we have about 10 days left of October for Preptober, which is actually really quite good. That leaves plenty of time to get a good idea for some of your characters, some of your plot ideas, quick scene list, and maybe a short setting list. I wouldn't go too crazy on that because the story will inform you of that as well. But yeah, for sure, we have plenty of time for Preptober. Let's see. Important dates. This is the easy one. This is our for the next 2 weeks because we always want to see what's coming at us. Events, birthdays, appointments, commitments, workshops, and classes. We want to know travel time, action steps, prep, confirmation if needed, and if there's any paperwork, we're going to keep that paperwork handy and we're going to make sure it's done before the appointment. Okay, guys, for me, I use Google Calendars for this. If you're using a paper planner and you have a nice monthly page that you use, I always say I will, never do. Google Docs is a little too easy for this. Okay, guys, let's figure out the next 2 weeks and what's coming at us, and go. No, no. Okay, there we go. Ah, doesn't look too bad when I read out like that. Kidding. Ah, okay. Let's see. So then we have Double Down Day coming up on the 4th for anyone in our Heart Breathings community. And of course we have Halloween on the 31st. Let's see. Okay. Supporting tasks. These are the normal little things that we do that we don't want to lose sight of. but they are not as important as many of the things that we do, the things that often pay the bills. So we want to do our chores, errands, meal planning, exercise plan, our admin tasks, our business planning, our banking, our bill due dates, our insurance, our planning, daily and weekly, and what live sprints we want to attend. And we want to batch together the little teeny tiny tasks so that they are easier to make sure that we get them done. It's easy to say something that's like takes you 3 minutes. Oh, I'll do that later. Yeah. And then you're rushing or doing a bad job or completely forgetting about it. And then you go to get dressed and you have no socks. We don't want to do that. Let's see, we did library events, Nano for November, Double Down Day number 4, and the time changes for most of Canada, USA. Good point. That is the 5th, I do believe, yes. Daylight savings. Thank you for the reminder, Rita. Mary, Wednesday will be our fall festival work. I love that. My older son's birthday is November 1st. Well, happy birthday to him. Those are the two biggest things coming up for me. Nice. Okay, guys, so this one is more of a general list you kind of make, and then you will put it into your calendar where you think it fits best. And when you sort of have access to things, if you have shared laundry facilities or anything like that, then you always have to think in terms of when you have access to it, even though the machines are there. If you're not allowed to use them Monday to Friday, well, then you know laundry day is going to be Saturday, Sunday, right? Your exercise plan, great one for yourself. If you can, start small if you're just starting out, and make small changes to being more active, doing more movement, and be healthier. Drinking water is a good start as well. Yeah, just choose which ones are important to you. In terms of your assurance, know your dates, and try to get things kind of dealt with, a week or two before. In terms of like IDs, sometimes you have to wait to be allowed to do something. Like I said, for us, for a driver's license and stuff, it's 6 months before they are expired. But so it gives you a nice window, but if you're at 7 months, then you're not going to be able to go and do that yet. But maybe you want to put that somewhere on your November calendar or something, so you know to go and get that done, right? Okay, guys, let's begin and create the list of all the little things that we need to do to stay happy and healthy, and go. That's 36. Oops, no, no, no. Ah, I think for this one, I do need to add, because I think I was up here. Pay bills. It's the time of month for that. And I would like to do some social media planning as well. So I think it is about time for that again, to take a little step back and do some analysis. Okay, anything else on that list? Everything else is good. What did you guys come up with? What are your big ones? My big one is to make it to, can I do that? Maybe I can. I want to make it to one of Tracy's sprints on Monday. On Wednesday, I would like to make it to one of Melissa's. Not so sure about Jen's. I don't know if that will line up. That will probably be chaos. I could want it, but I don't think it's going to happen. On Thursday, I want to make it to one of Diane's, two of Diane's, and maybe one of Tracy's. And on Friday, I want to make it to Jenna's. I want to make it to, hopefully on that one, I should be able to do a whole session. That would be awesome. All right, guys. So here we're going to look at the protagonist, you. You are the character who drives the action. Without you, there would be no story. Your misbelief. What bad choices have you been making that are affecting your overall health, energy, and concentration? The example is drinking water in place of sugary drinks. We're just going to make one small change and see what it is that we can do. For me, it has been the false belief that I can do it all, even though I've had so much on my schedule. And like I said, haven't been making good choices because I feel like I'm not, a lot of it is drop off and pick up. But often when we do that, we find other things that we kind of need to do over in the area. So it's a completely different mindset that I'm not at home at my desk working. So I need to find a more portable system for myself that, you know, we can trade off. One goes in a store, I can take, you know, that 20 minutes to do something on my iPad or something, and that we're doing it back and forth, and small changes to make sure that I'm staying on top of the things I want to do. Read more social media posts, emails need to be taken care of. Take walk for at least 20 minutes. Love that. Okay, guys, so what small change are you going to make this week to change a misbelief and start working in the right direction? And go. Okay. So for that one, to extend a little bit on what I was saying, I'm going to make sure that both my phone and my iPad are able to do some of these things that I normally do at my home computer. And I need to make sure that something like a Google Doc is available offline. If it's not on, I can, in the moment, of course, I could do that on my phone because I have data on it. But if I want to work on my iPad, it's one little step where I may be holding myself back. So I'm going to try to make sure if it's document, I think I might take a moment to use while I'm out. I'm going to make sure it's available offline as well. And that way I can actually, it's one less thing holding me back. Also making sure that my software on my phone and on my iPad have the features that I need. I wanted, like this week, I wanted to schedule the live for you guys, which I usually do from my computer. No big deal, but I was out a lot, so I want to do it on my iPad. It's the feature is apparently available to me, but it's not set up, so I need to set that up so I have it. Let's see, Mary. Bad choice, not moving my body enough. Goal, stand up and at least move around or do a few stretches each day. I love that. That works. Yeah, and yeah, it's as simple as getting up, taking a 5-minute break, and walking around your space, or going up the stairs and refilling your water, or something, just moving your body and getting up. It's amazing how the steps will definitely add up. Your new skills, guys. This is my favorite. I'm loving my developmental editing course. Finding time for it's a little more challenging than I thought it would be, but I am very much enjoying it. So we want to figure out why this, why now. I should add another thing. What point are you at in it? Are you beginner, intermediate, advanced? Sometimes when we take a course, like I know with the developmental editing, I'm taking the beginner course, but the goal is to take, pardon me, the intermediate one next. But that one is done in real time, and I'm going to have to make accommodations for that one to make sure that that works within my schedule for the live calls and stuff like that, right? So sort of think in terms of, plus the homework is going to be more. Things are going to be, instead of having an answer key, I'm going to have to hand things in. There's going to be peer review, things of that nature, and I'm going to have to be ready for that, right? Your reading study time. Now, I actually made a note, and I don't think I actually, Phyllis gave us one last week, and prep time. She suggests also having prep time before the class to be noted in here, so I'm going to have to add that. I moved my sticky. Don't move your stickies. So prep time, reading study time, practice time, and evaluation. Let's see, for Rita, bad choice, need more movement. Walking over 2 kilometers to the library once this week. More fruit. I love that. Let's see. Welcome, Melissa. This planning session is amazing. Her sprint is afterwards. It is, yes. Okay, guys, so let's figure out of our new skills where we're at with it, what we want to do this week. What does our prep, study, practice, and evaluation look like this week? And how we're showing up for ourselves. And go. So this one I have to finish. Give me the assignments. Okay, what did you guys come up for new? Rita, this week is all about the OBS and live stream prep and more time with Canva. Love that. I hope you like OBS. It's fairly straightforward. Lots of tutorials on it. And it is a logical program, which is what I love about it. It does what it should do, and doesn't torture you while it's doing it. It's too much software does that. Okay, guys. Self-care, refilling the well. This is one of my favorite things to populate into my planner. These are our favorite activities. This is getting outdoors. This is trying something new. This is journaling. This is reading. This is playing games. And you know what? It doesn't matter, guys. If they're board games, card games, video games, they're going to fill your soul. They're going to fill you with story, and you're going to feel good. So we want to schedule in our self-care. You deserve it, and you need it. So simply for this one, you're just going to make a small little mini list of some of the self-care you'd like to indulge in this week and enjoy. This is your downtime. This is your joy time, and I want you guys to have it. So take an idea of maybe some of the things that you would like to do. Often what happens is that we don't make a little list of the things we would want to do. So when we do have an opportunity, it's because I always say schedule 50%. So that other 50%, you want to know, you want an idea of what you want to do when you do get an opportunity to your self-care, instead of wasting that time thinking about what it is you want to do. So 2 minutes, make your list of all the wonderful self-care things that you want to do. I recommend picking 3 or 4 for the week. And that way you have a little bit of variety, and also you have some options depending on what comes at you. Okay, and go. Okay, what good stuff did you come up with? I want to play an awesome 2-player game with my daughter, since she probably could use a little bit of fun time too. Next week's midterms, so it's going to be a stressful week for her. So I want to have just maybe a fun to pull her aside after she's just to kind of give her a little bit of relaxation, and we'll play one of our favorite games. It's called Patchwork, and it's really fun. It's nicely competitive. We're competitive. And I think I think we both need that nice little, takes about a half hour to play, and I think it'll be a beautiful half hour just to spend with her. Other than that, I want to do some journaling. and reconnecting with my story. Now I want to see the end, so I'm gonna need a little journaling session or two to kind of really think about where the story could go, because I had an idea for a scene to link up story 1 and story 2, but now that I've gotten to this point, I don't know. I think I want to play up the thief element a little bit more, and what I have is a little harsher than that, and I don't like that anymore, so I think I want to tweak that. Let's see, Rita. Oh, good. I find Notion overwhelming. Notion is a fantastic program with so many options, but I agree that it is too many options. Like, it is overwhelming. When you go to use Notion and you're new, tiny little steps, guys. Basics first. It's sort of like bullet journaling. Basics first. Otherwise, it is so overwhelming. There's so much that can be done with it that it's almost too much. I want to get back to coloring, watching TV, and more time outside. I need the trees, but there's little to none. Oh, no forests in the area. Can you put up, I know it's not quite the same, but can you put up some images on your desktop so that when you sit down, you get to see, at least see trees? It's not quite the same as being out in them, but it might help. I find that as winter comes, I get really sad with the gray and all the darkness and the dreariness of the rain. And I go more to my washi tapes and my stickers for all the bright colors. I'm more likely to go and buy fresh flowers, just have a pop of color in the house and things like that. And little strategies just to kind of bring the spring and summer in ways that bring the brightness, bring that joy. That's something you could try. Mary, I'm counting bleach as my wall refilling, because not only do I enjoy it, but it's giving me a refresher on story structure and character arcs. Ooh, I love that side benefit. Rita, I give pictures on my laptop a try. I have tons of photos. There you go, right? And I find it helps. And it's funny how it helps, because it's such a little thing. All right, guys, this is our rising action. All the events that happen in a story on the way to the climax. Our climax is our goals, is our dreams are up here, and we're just climbing that mountain to get to the top. So let's see. We're going to do our deep focus time. So we're going to schedule in 2 to 3 of these, depending on if you have, depending on how many goals you have. These are kind of your bigger goals. So if you have 3 goals, then you have 3 focus days. You want blocks of 2 to 3 hours so you can really deep dive in and stay in a focused state per session. And you want to create yourself an agenda for each one of those sessions, so you're really optimizing the time and you know what you want to get done. You want to know where you want to end up by the end of that. So let's get our 2-minute timer up and figure out where you want your deep focus days. That will allow you to have a 2 to 3 hour block of uninterrupted time. I do recommend in the middle to maybe stand up and move around a little bit. It's kind of hard in the back to sit that long, but we're trying for 2 to 3 hours. And go. did you guys come up with? I want to devote Monday to my course. Wednesday, I would like to do a deep dive into the journaling and the Act 3 of Project Hidden. I'm not sure this will happen. Friday, I would love to do a really deep session for Preptober prep. Although that one, I feel like I may just take to doing some notes on the Tuesday and Thursday as well on that one, because I'm going to give myself a framework, I think, and just still moments for that one. I don't know about doing the full session because I'm going to have to, before that to work, I think I'm going to have to already have some ideas down. So I'm going to maybe earlier in the week try to have a couple little short sessions of just throwing down ideas. That way I've got something to work from, and that way if I do the deep session for it, I will have material to work from. And then finally, Saturday is going to be all about writing and doing my course. Okay, guys. The outline. This is the big picture, guys. We're finally onto our weekly calendar. This is where you're going to create your master plan or ideal week with everything that you've decided for yourself. I kind of move things around. This is a bit of a puzzle because there's only so many hours of the day, and you already have the things that are scheduled that you're going to have to deal with. And then we're going to move the other things around to where they make sense and where you can actually, where you have the energy for them, where you have the right mindset for them. You don't want to really do something really stressful and then try to sit down and write. The two don't go together, right? So kind of building out your weekly plan with the pieces that you have defined for yourself. You're going to create Monday's plan, including your top 3. That way you can hit the ground running. I need you to populate your planner with all the little bits and pieces, no matter how small. That way they're written down, and you have a big picture of how much time you're going to actually need. And then when you move things around, you can have it. It's funny how the time starts to make sense when you can see it visually. I want you to schedule your self-care, your mental health, and your buffer days. Again, at least 50% of your self-care and your mental and your to make sure that you're giving yourself that time to relax, get the reward of working hard throughout the day by doing something that you love and refilling the well. Can you successfully manage to do everything you have chosen with the time you have? Make adjustments as needed. This is the first draft of your weekly plan. As you go throughout the week, make changes as needed. It's totally okay, and it's to be expected, right? This is a living document, and it is going to be subject to change as life throws things at you. Okay? So finally, as always, celebrate your successes, your gold star moments, and your best fixes. How will your story end? Enter this new world and create the ending you want. Thank you, guys. We're going to have about a 25-minute break before I am back with our writing sprints to continue day 2 of our virtual writing retreat. And I will see you guys next weekend for our first ever monthly plan with me. And I definitely have some ideas of things I want to add to the system. And I think it will be a nice deep dive. And it'll also free up a little bit of our time so that we have more time to give to Nano in November. And we'll have the side benefit of going in with a full plan. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I will see you in 25 minutes for our writing. Reset your space. If you are already settled, grab all your washi and stickers and start decorating up that weekly so you're more likely to use it. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.